Hey everybody. So I thought I'd do something a little bit more off the cuff, a little bit different than what I normally do, and talk about something going on in my personal life and different things along with that. So back in July of last year, I decided basically I'm going to go on a diet and try and lose some weight. And since then, I actually have lost 60 pounds. So here's a clip of a video I filmed right before going on the diet. Mr. Mom made me shit my pants. He is fucking scary. He is intimidating. He is probably one of the best Marvel villains. Of course, here's me now. So I went from a fat sack of crap to a slightly less fat sack of crap. Obviously, I still have a long way to go to get to my final goal of this. But, 60 pounds is a lot. And I thought it would be kind of interesting and nice to let you guys know how I did that, what I'm doing, what my diet's like, things like that, and give some of my tips and tricks and words of encouragement, things of that nature. So before we get in too deep, three quick things. One, this is how I lost weight, so it can apply to you, but I'm not saying this is the only way you can lose weight. You have to do it this way. Find what works for you. But so I'm not saying this is just how I did it. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. Two, I am not sponsored by anybody. This is just what I did and what I found works for me. I'm not getting paid by anybody. And three, always check with your doctor before going on a diet. There are health risks involved, and if you have any additional health issues, how would that work with your diet? Consult your doctors. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. So, yeah, check with your doctor first. So basically, my diet plan has consisted of less input, more output. So I started working out 3 times a week, and I am doing mostly cardio stuff, walking and running, bikes, stationary bikes, stuff like that. I'm not really looking to put on muscle at this moment. I'm more worried about just losing weight. So let's just work on that. I'm not a trainer, so I don't really know. I'm just moving. I'm burning calories. That's the idea that I've got. Now my actual diet, officially I'm on Nutrisystem, but I'm not doing the shakes or any of that stuff. I'm just doing, they call it the basic men's diabetes plus. I don't have diabetes, but I figured a little less sugar couldn't hurt me. And then I get the plus is the frozen food. I also get frozen food on top of their freeze-dried food. But in the end, really, Nutrisystem is basically just a low-calorie diet that you split up over 6 meals every day. So I eat about 1,100 to 1,300 calories a day. So let me go over with you kind of what an average day in my food looks like. So this is what an average day for food for me looks like. This is 1,100 to 1,300 calories. So I'll go a little bit more into detail on what each meal is and looks like. But this is what my day of food looks like. So this is breakfast for me. So breakfast at Nutrisystem is one of their meals, which right now I have a cinnamon streusel muffin and what they call a power fuel, which is something that is very high in protein, things that'll burn slowly that make you feel hungry longer. And so that is for me a whole hard-boiled egg. I boil a dozen of these at the beginning of the week and eat them all week. I have one for breakfast. And this is, if you can see, 180 calories. So this whole thing together is roughly 200 and something calories for breakfast. and that's a pretty standard breakfast. They each meal is the same, where there's different things that Nutrisystem gives you for each meal. This is just an example. So 2.5 hours to 3 hours later, I will have my first snack, which is something you supply yourself, which is one smart carb and a power fuel. So my power fuel is a stick of low-fat string cheese. It's like 90 something calories for this. And then my smart carb is a whole apple. I'm very particular to pink lady apples, but any red apples I like. A smart carb is what it sounds like. It's good sugars, because you do need sugar. You can't go zero sugar. So you do need sugars, and this has got good sugars in it. So this is a snack. And then we have lunch, which is kind of the most, I think, the biggest meal and some of the most complicated, I guess. So you have one of their meals, which right here I have a trail mix protein bar, which is 200 calories. They also do have meals. They have these frozen things that are basically frozen knockoff lean pockets. They got different soups and things. This is just what I grabbed as an example. They have also just bars. And then you do another power fuel. So I got a string cheese. Again, I like these a lot, and so they're good. And then another smart carb. So for that, instead of doing another fruit, I got fruit juice. And I do juicy juice mostly because they are the only ones, as far as I know, at least that by me, that do the 4-ounce boxes rather than the big boxes, which make them only 60 calories, but you still get the sugar from all the fruit in it. So yeah, that's lunch. It tends to be one of my most high calorie meals of the day, which makes sense. You're kind of been working all day and you still got another half of the day to go. You got to get your calories in. Then you have your second snack of the day, which is just a Nutrisystem snack. Here I have cheese puffs. These are just knockoff Cheetos, but they're low calorie Cheetos. I don't know if you can see there, but this bag, there you go. This bag's 150 calories for this whole thing. They're not terrible. They're pretty good. They taste a little extra proteiny. I think they add protein powder to the cheese. But they're not terrible. And they got other sorts of snacks, different chips, more protein bars, crackers. I don't know. They got a lot of stuff. So this is just an example. This is one of my favorite ones, though. But yeah. And then you have dinner, of course. So this is one of the frozen meals I kind of mentioned before. So this, stuffed shells. They have freeze-dried meals and frozen meals. So you can see it's 240 calories, and dinner is just dinner. I think you can add a smart carb if you choose, but I generally just do the dinner. And then finally, your last snack of the day, which is dessert, which here is a oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. They also have a lot of sweets, and this can also be used as my second snack as well. I just, dessert, and do little sweets. They have some frozen fudge bars and other sweets like that. But this is 180 calories for one cookie in here. So your snacks tend to be, 150 to 200 calories, and the meals themselves are a little bit more. But that's what a typical day for my food looks like.
So that's kind of what my day would look like food-wise. So first off, question I always get, of course, is, are you hungry? Yes, I am hungry all the time. But before that, when I was eating whatever I want, whenever I wanted, I was still hungry a lot of the time. And that's my personal feeling. There may be an additional medical issue on top of that. I don't know. I never really got it looked at. But for me, I am always hungry, pretty much if I'm eating a ton of stuff or if I'm not eating. So that was kind of my roundabout to go ahead and, not worry about being hungry. And, with a diet, you're going to be hungry. So kind of, get used to that idea. So I thought I'd give some tips and what I can help anybody along that might have any questions on dieting yourself. So first off, the number one thing I absolutely believe is there is no singular villain or hero dieting wise. What I mean is, at least in America, we seem to want to find the simple answer, and that's always just to demify one thing or celebrate another. We have this track history of saying, first of it was fats. Nobody eat fats. Fats are bad. Don't eat any fats. Fats will make you fat. Then it became carbs. Nobody eat carbs. Carbs are, if you take out the carbs, you'll lose all this weight. That's what you need to now, no carbs. Then it became trans fats. Don't eat trans fats. Get rid of trans fats. That's what we're doing. And now it's a current mix of sugars and also gluten. Don't have any sugar and don't have gluten. The thing is, you need all those things. It's like many things in life, it's a big gray area. It's a mixture of all these. It's, so it's taking out parts of those, but not fully, demifying one simple thing. And there's actually a lot of articles and stuff you can read where basically our obsession with low fat is actually what caused America to get to where we are now, where there's sugar in literally everything. So, because we decided not to have fat, now we got sugar. And so one thing eventually will lead to another. And so it's not about demifying one specific thing. It's about, lessening each one of those, if that makes any sense. And on top of that, there is no one hero. Those are what, fad diets are always like, eat all the avocados you want. Eat all these avocados. Avocados all day, every day. Put avocados on your face while you sleep. Avocado. I don't really believe in that. Again, the simplest way we can break it down is less input, more output. Diet and exercise. Calories aren't a thing. Calories are a measurement of energy output. So you're not really eating calories. Calories are the amount of energy that food stuff has. So having less calories means your body, to burn stuff as you're normally working, will have to burn your, backup reserves of energy. Hence losing weight. So that's my number one tip. No heroes, no villains. So my next tip is going to be diet for yourself. Don't do it because you think you need to, or you need to look a certain way, or that you're trying to impress somebody. Do it for yourself, because that will lessen your excuses. I found myself, when I ran out of excuses is when it was time to lose weight. When I finally had enough. It was just, I can't work out because I'm too busy. I can't afford to work out. Things like that. Instead of, saying, what can I do to make more time to work out? Or what can I do to afford to pay for a diet? It was just, I can't. And, I found once I ran out of excuses, then it was time. And it wasn't to, if you're trying to just impress somebody and that doesn't go right, or you don't feel like you're living up to them, it just creates more issues. You got to diet for yourself. And if you're comfortable with the weight you are now, that's perfectly fine too. You don't have to be skinny. Diet for yourself. The other tip is going to be, give yourself the best possibility of success. Do whatever you can to help yourself. So some examples would be, my workout days are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, which sounds weird, but those were the days I would have the best success. So Mondays, you're back from your weekend. Weekends are a little bit harder You tend to, have family gatherings or meet with friends, go to bars. So if you hit back Monday, get back on that diet, get back on your workout plan, you kind of hit the week like ready to go. So I found Monday was a great day to work out. And then, of course, Wednesday is just, a day in between to have off and then a day of working out. So if I were to follow that, my next workout day would have been Friday. But I knew Fridays I would cancel all the time. I would have, I'd go to movies or I got friends meeting up, things like that. So I decided Friday wasn't my best chance of success. So Thursday was my better chance of success. If I were to work out Wednesday and Thursday, rather Wednesday than Friday, I would more likely be there to work out. Another thing that I found works for me and gave me the most chance of success is I don't keep any food in my house that isn't for that week and for the diet. Like, that is the only food I have. So if I'm extra hungry, I don't have anything in the house. And for me, the motivation to put on pants and shoes and go get food is not there. So I'll just accept that, well, I've eaten all my food for the day. I'm just going to be a little hungry, drink some extra water to help. But I don't keep anything that I will snack on because I'm going to snack on it. I'm going to find it. I can't just put it off and be like, well, I'll only have one of these a day. No, I'm just going to eat the whole thing. So that worked for me. So, but find what works for you. Take a, inventory of what you do and find, what could trip you up and find the best plans around that. I think that's a fantastic way to do it. This is just a quick tip, but something I do notice a lot of people do that I don't necessarily agree on, and that is you should have a cheat meal and not a cheat day. I found through dieting with other people and things that if you have the cheat day, you kind of go hog wild for that day, and I think it slows you down way too much to do an entire day of eating whatever you feel like. Limit just to one meal. And don't make that your prize for losing weight. I'll get into that next. But just every week, have a cheat meal. My Friday nights tend to be my cheat meal. Just to eat whatever I want, to kind of relax after the week, not think about dieting, and just have a cheat meal. Do that. You need to relax off of your diet sometimes. And honestly, to take a week or two off isn't the worst thing in the world either. I got burnt out right near December with Christmas and all that, and I decided to really let off the gas and just enjoy life for a little bit. I didn't go hog wild, but I also wasn't pushing myself so hard. Also, when I'm on vacations, I don't worry about dieting. I'm on a vacation, I'm enjoying life. It's okay to take a week or two off because you're looking at, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So this is a long-term thing. So you gotta, give yourself that break. But again, for a regular week, one cheat meal. You don't want to do a whole cheat day. Just kind of a weird thing. And finally, find your motivation. Find what gets you moving. What's going to get you to get to that next step? What's going to get you to the gym that extra time? Like I just mentioned, don't make it a meal as your prize for losing weight. A lot of psychiatrists would agree with me where it creates an unhealthy relationship with food to do it that way. But find something that motivates you to go farther. I got a friend who's doing great on her diet, and her motivation is retail therapy. So when she hits certain benchmarks in her diet, she goes, well, I'm going to buy this dress that I've always wanted. I'm going to buy this hat. I'm going to spend some money on myself. That became her motivation. And, that's what pushes her to go. My motivation, I found, is external praise, which sounds sad, but it is, so it's fine. It's, having people tell me I'm doing a good job and, that they're impressed and things like that. So really, you guys are part of that. If I can go on my Twitter and say, I lost 60 pounds, and everyone's like, holy crap, that's great. And I have a lot of friends that I update them weekly, like, this is how I'm doing. I found myself having that external praise for me is what motivates me to, show people, hey, I'm doing it, I'm losing weight, things like that. I found that's a great thing, and I have certain things that I planned for certain milestones. When I hit 60 pounds, I wrote my favorite podcast, telling them, I listen to their podcast while I'm working out, and they read my email on the podcast, and that was the best. That made me feel awesome that I can do that. So that's my motivation, and you should find your motivation. It's not, it's different for everybody, but find what's going to push you and make it into your prize for losing 10 pounds or losing 5 pounds or just losing that week. What's your prize? Find your motivation. So hopefully this wasn't too much of a diet tirade, I guess you can call it. I just thought it'd be a kind of an interesting video to show, and hopefully get some tips and hints out there for anyone that may want it. If you have any additional questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm very open on how everything works and how I'm doing. So if you have questions on how my diet is or things like that, please let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, and let me know if you like this kind of video. If you want more updates on how I'm doing diet-wise, I'll definitely do that. So thanks for watching.